Yo, how's it going? Let's see, we already got 2 viewers in here. That's awesome. So, this is the second stream I've ever done. And it's also the second stream this week. So, if you weren't with us last time, I've been building a little app in the in a SvelteKit framework. This little app is one that I've been wanting to create for a little while, just as a productivity tool for when I'm for when I'm at work, but also well, I'll show you guys what I have in mind here. So I'm going to share my screen. Whenever I open a new tab, today I use a tool called Panda. It brings in a lot of news information. I think it also has some to-do lists and a couple of other things in it. I've always wanted to build my own, and I've been learning a framework called Svelte and SvelteKit. So I'm going to be building something similar to use as my new default new tab tool, basically. This is already hosted as is at tabs.args.xyz. We got that hosted in the last stream, and we're going to be continuing on that. Right now, it doesn't save your items between sessions. So, no, if I refresh this page, it only has these 3 default items that we started with. So my thinking is we'll probably do some persistence, at least within local storage. We might hook up a database and log in later on to this app. A couple of other things is if you type in a really long to-do item, things don't necessarily line up so great. So we could do with some styling improvements here. And then if I open up the Figma that I created just as a wireframe for this, I wanted to have a full page to-do list, a Pomodoro timer maybe, some notes, and then Hacker News and GitHub, which are my main 2 trending sources for tech in this space. So we'll probably end up building something like that, building those pieces in here over time. So first, I just want to add a little bit more margin to these list items here. So we're going to use MB2. The CSS framework I'm using in this app is called Tailwind. And Tailwind is a utility-first CSS framework. What it does is at build time for production, it only brings in the styles that you actually use in your code base, so you aren't populating your CSS with a bunch of or your CSS files that aren't being used. Some people hate that all the styles are defined in classes. I personally don't mind it, and I'm trying to force myself to use it to just do a better job of evaluating how I feel about some of these emerging technologies and these frameworks. So yeah, we're using Tailwind. A little. By the way, if you're having issues hearing me, or need the volume, or anything, or the text bumped up, or anything adjusted, let me know. That really helps me out when I'm doing this stream. Okay, so really long to-do list item. I want to space these out more evenly, these buttons here for the to-do list. So to do that, we can add on the UL, virtually on each list item, they'd be grid. And we did this earlier for the page itself. We did grid and defined how many columns. Well, there's 3 columns there. So we're gonna do grid. Grid equals 3. Text left, and we'll probably have to adjust the size of some of these a little bit. For the let's start here. I'm not really wanting the text to be centered between each item. So we'll probably set a width on the checkbox button here in a minute. Wonder if it would actually set that with flex basis or not. Let's see. Oh no, it's not going to do that because we're using CSS grid and not flexbox. So we're actually going to get rid of this and use flex for now. We are going to do space. What's the Tailwind class for this? Space between. Yeah, I could set it statically. I don't really want to. And that's just global styling. Well, maybe we can just start by putting these buttons on the right. If this is a flexbox item, it'll go all the way to the side, so we can probably do it this way. Let's put this in this button in another div. And this will also have a class of flex row reverse. And let me do this. We will move flex from the entire item. Yeah, we'll remove it from the parent, and I will try this. Class equals flex, and this will be play. Maybe that'll work. We're close. That's right. Divs are block level. There's a way to get a item to right. I need to put this. I need flex here. There we go. And then this item, how do I make the flex one? How do I make each item pick up its, there we go. That's what I was trying to do this entire time. Aligns. So these are forced to the side because this items is in its own flex box that has a row reversed, which aligns things to the right. So now we need to vertically realign content. Let's see, I had that in a diff earlier. That was item center. Maybe justify center. I'll have to play with this a little bit. Actually, it's probably that I need this to be here. Text center is not what I want. I want all of these items to be vertically aligned. Content center. That's not what I want. Line flex items along the cross axis of the current line of the flex container. Line flex items along the main axis. The main axis is a row. So I need the cross one. That should be correct. So I guess I just need to do that in the second level of the flex box. That's fine. Don't want to do item center. Do this. Justify. Sure. That's definitely not what I want to do. Justify self enter would be the div. Justify self center. Oh, here we go. Okay. This is also going to be a flex. Start there. This is also going to be justify center. No, align center. Flexbox is weird this way. At least it can be. It's a div inside of its own flexbox. We just need to... I wonder if it's the input that needs to be vertically centered. Well, we'll leave it for now. It's better than it was. This is a longer to-do list item. And it wraps and does some weird stuff. We'll leave it alone for now and move on to seeing if we can persist some of this data between sessions. Cool. So the first place we probably want to do this is create a store these items in a store. So felt store. Writable stores. Docs. We'll go here. Let's see. Writable store. Okay, let's create a new folder under lib called stores. And we'll create a new file for to do items store.ts. Import writable from Svelte store. This is probably not right. It needs to be lowercase. And we want to have it to 2 items store. That is an empty string. Nice. Now, this Svelte store local storage. That's probably not what I want. Persist state to local storage. I do love this. Writable light theme, persisting to local storage. Oh, that's easy. So theme.subscribe, set item. This will be easy. This will be so easy. Cool, so we can get const get stored stored item equals, we're going to use a local storage I want to use local forage for this. For now, we'll probably move to something better later. Local forage npm. But it's just a really nice tool for being able to set an item and get an item key value store in local storage. You can just pass in objects and it'll take care of stringifying them and putting them in a format that local storage works with. So we will do npm I save, and this will be local forage. Local forage. In their API, can I check for the existence of an item before? Oh, we'll start here. Get to do items. And console.log stored items. And we will import to do items store from there, even though we're not using it yet. Lib. And what did I do wrong? Dev server crashed. No available storage method found. Oh, because this is running on this server. SvelteKit local storage. Initial value would be window.local. Okay, so if we're in the browser comes from environment. Cool. So we have to check the environment first before we do anything crazy. And otherwise, we need a default value. Const default value equals empty string. Const initial value equals, if you're in the browser, get a to-do list item. Otherwise, use the default value. Default value has an implicit any type. That's fine. We'll do this for any right now. And this will have the initial value. So do you hate me now? Hopefully you don't. Reload. All right. We have nothing. Actually, that's not too bad. That'll work. So, we want to set this to the initial value. And when the value changes, you want to set this local storage. Perfect. And now all we need to do is we will do a little bit of refactoring. We will move this list to here to be the default. Yes, I know, that's fine. We will initially set this to be the to-do item store. 500 error. You mean to-do item store? Yeah, did I do... How do I reference the to-do list item store? Oh, it needs to be... needs to be prefixed, not suffixed. Cool. So now I need to do... All I need to do is instead have all of these, instead of it being a list, needs to be... Actually, let's see what this does. You are assigning to a const. That's why it's let list. So what happens if I add another item? Cool. Only iterate over array like object. This is not an any anymore. This is item. This is a to-do list. Prototype promise. Oh, is this... Uses a promise. That makes sense. Okay, this will be async. And we have to await this. Hopefully it allows top level await. Null. That's better. So the initial value at this time is null. And then we refresh. Do we even have this in our store? Is this in local storage right now? Application, local storage, blah. Okay, so we literally have nothing. That's what I would expect. So each you do okay, writable unknown. The initial value is unknown. This is going to also be a to-do list. We don't need. Null is not assignable to type to do item. Okay. Const if. No. If we're in a browser, we'll do this in an imperative style. Const init val equals get to do items if it's unknown. If init val is null, set to default value. Yes. By the time we get to here, as we do it. That's what I thought. So now we can iterate over every item. When we add an item, we actually want to say that we update the list. Update value, yep. And to item store update with the filter. Test 1. It's 2. Cool, and we should see test 1 and 2 when we refresh. Alright. Not the worst thing in the world. This is yet another long item. And when we refresh, it'll initially render, and then it'll render from local storage. So that means we can take this, make this empty. It might take a second before it loads, but then it does load our stuff. Now this will only work on one session at a time. If I have multiple new tabs open, it won't work as well. How can we... So if I duplicate this, add an item, it's not going to persist over here. Another item, and instead I'm going to have an item, different item. So we'll see, this will have different item, and then this one overwrites it. So local storage probably isn't the right option here. Now we could do IndexedDB, but I think over the long term, I'll end up shifting all of this data to be server-side and hidden behind an account. And then we can have some kind of a WebSocket connection in place for saying, hey, the list was updated to every instance of the client, and it can fetch the new ones. It's a lot of work to keep that in sync. Let's clean some of this up. So, this really is a lot to do this initially. I'm going to change this to be the stored value. Now, the really cool thing about Svelte is once we set up a store, everything that's bound to store, in this case the to-do item store, it's just reactive by prefixing it with this $. Similarly to the last video when we had a sort of console log here, which runs on every update. You could see what the values were in real time. Basically, anytime a render takes place or any state within this component changes, this function will run. And a convention that Svelte has is for their stores. Prefixing with $sign does the same thing for their stores so that we don't have to subscribe to it at the beginning of the life cycle. I mean, we could set up subscribers. We could do like a let subscribers equals this, and then on before what's a on mount? You could do like a whenever the store changes, you know, append it to the local copy, and then on unmount or on destroy rather, you can unsubscribe. I'd really just... I really hate this kind of pattern, and it's a pattern I see a lot, especially in frameworks like Angular. So just having reactivity by default on as part of the markup and not having to do this manually makes it so much easier. Now, that'll probably get a little bit more complicated later on when we have to hit the back end to update items and whatnot and still have it all in a store, but for now this works for a proof of concept, which is really the only reason I'm making this app, is as a proof of concept. So good notes for later on. All right, let's set another marker here in the stream, and we'll move on to any other things. Still not seeing anybody in the chat interacting. So maybe we'll keep going. We've only been on for about 40 minutes or so. Wonder... We do have the ability when a storage event fires in the browser. Oh, this might be a way to keep it local for now and still have things update between tabs. When local storage changes. Yeah, let's try that. It's a bit of a hack, but it will work. Oh no, that's terrible because it'll fire every single time we set an item or get an item, and it'll be kind of end up in an infinite loop state. That'd be really ugly. We can try that. Well, could do that with comparing the old value, and if the old value and the new value are the same, we don't do anything. If the new value is different, we adjust it, what's saved. No, that's still gonna be messy. I'm not gonna do that. Maybe we should move on to the Pomodoro timer. Try and figure out how that works. Start here. Or how that will work, rather. Add a local storage store for to-do list items. So we already have the to-do list widget. Let's add a new folder for Pomodoro? Is that even the right? Pomodoro timer. We'll do like Pomodoro technique. Yeah, that looks right. Pomodoro. Pomodoro. All right. Description. Set the timer for about 25 minutes. When the timer rings, take a short break. If you have do this 3 times and then take a longer break. After 3 Pomodoros, do a 4th Pomodoro and take a long break. There's a lot of pieces here that are going to be interesting. All right, well, let's start with Pomodoro timer.else. We'll have a script tag. This will be lang equals TS because I like TypeScript. And we'll say this is a Pomodoro if throw in an H1 for Pomodoro so that and tomato emoji. Copy paste a tomato emoji because who doesn't like emojis in apps? Then we'll go back to our page. I want the Pomodoro timer to be right here. So we will put Pomodoro timer there. And we have a Pomodoro timer component there in the left column. It's just that easy. Easy indeed. Oh man. So we're gonna have to have a timer probably have a set interval. What's timer in Svelte look like? Yeah, that's what I thought. Set interval. Timer equals tweened. Svelte motion tweened. Svelte includes tools to help you build interfaces that use animation. Yes, that's nice. But I don't want to use it for animation. Oh, that's what this is. This progress bar here. Okay, that's fine. Oh. Okay. Original number of seconds. So we'll do... I'm gonna need to set up a couple of things here. It's gonna be more than just the timer component. We're gonna have to split this up into a Pomodoro clock and Pomodoro sessions of Svelte. So my thinking is, let's jump back into Figma. My thinking is we're going to have a couple of things. We're going to have a clock. Come on. We'll have a clock here. Probably a start and stop button somewhere in here. And then we're also going to have a list of sessions that we've had so that we know how many we've done. Probably a status also. So we're going to have like a work or break. So when we're working, we're gonna work and it'll say break, and we can have a start stop button somewhere around here as well. Okay. Now, it's probably not worth saving this between each. You don't need to persist it between sessions. Maybe the list? That might be good. the list of sessions so that we know where we were. And we can also have a button also to like reset, start from the beginning. We could even go as far as to have customizable user settings that the user can put in for if they want to have a 10-minute break or 5-minute break, how long they want to work for, how many sessions until you get a long break, how long the long break is, yada 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 yada. There's all kinds of stuff that can be done. We've been on for about an hour though, and I need a break. So maybe I will save all of this fun stuff for the next stream. Cool. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Appreciate y'all watching. If you liked what you saw, leave a like and whatnot under the video. This will be on YouTube later. If you didn't like it or see things that were obviously wrong or have suggestions for how I can do better, leave a comment down below. Like, follow, subscribe. It really helps me out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning into the stream, and I'll see y'all next time.